My disrobed thoughts, here they come to play. My disrobed thoughts yearn to get out every day. Until now, I kept them clothed. Until now, my true self, no one knows. Always at a distance, never too close. That's the safety rule I thought I should know. If I let you in, show you all that I can be, will you still love me? Will you want to spend our time laughing away? Will you still want to hear what I have to say? Are you just hanging on to each perfect word? What you wanted to know, what you thought you heard? Do you think you see what you know is the real me? Do you wonder? Finally? My life has been spent working to please, hoping you'd like me enough to live more candidly. Always exhausted, never true, being someone so perfect for you. Now is the time to make this change, to be the me I always knew me to be. For if I wait, I'll wither away, turning into something from my yesterday. Bitter and cold, sad and alone, that cannot be my future. It's too chilling, straight to the bone. So here I write my most naked thoughts, no longer putting on a show, disrobed, unclothed, for all of you to know. Welcome to Disrobed Thoughts, everybody. The podcast where my thoughts disrobe and I get naked with you about life and its lessons. I'm going to turn off the teleprompter now. It's cool. I really want this to be very unscripted. However, I do not have my poems memorized. I did write that one myself. All the ones I've put on my website, I wrote myself. If you want to check them out, disrobedthoughts.com. I also put on there some art. Listen, you guys, I don't think I'm Shakespeare. I don't think I'm Picasso. I'm not trying to be anything I'm not. I created Disrobed Thoughts as a place for me to be able to share my poetry, my art, the inner workings of my mind, the most inner thoughts, naked, disrobed, authentic, honest thoughts with the world. Something I am not used to doing. Something that is actually really, really new to me. And let me tell you guys, this is really weird talking to myself right now. I'm not talking to myself. I know I'm talking to you, but for some reason, I'm looking at myself right now and I feel like I'm talking to myself. Which is funny because I talk to myself all the time. At home, in the car, in the shower. Like, I'm just constantly talking to myself. Inside, outside, in the brain, not in the brain. Yeah, there's a lot going on in there. But for some reason, on camera, it's weird. So bear with me. I have done a podcast before, but with another human being, and that was a lot easier. And I've always wanted to do like a podcast about self-growth. Well, not necessarily a podcast about self-growth, but I wanted to do something to do with self-growth. And turns out I really like doing podcasts. And I spent a lot of time meditating on it, thinking about it, talking to myself about it, talking to the universe about it, talking to the great pussy in the sky about it. I guess it's no better time, but I have to tell you, I have ADHD and we're going to go on a lot of tangents. Great Pussy in the Sky. If you have not read Pussy, a Reclamation, I highly recommend it. It is about reclaiming your pussy, your femininity, your
what everything that is to be a woman that we have been told and society has wanted to smash our female power, feminine power, whatever you want to, pussy power, I don't know, whatever you want to freaking call it. It is by Regina Thomas Howard. Mama Gina is what she likes to call herself. And that book, like I loved it. I loved everything about it. I highly recommend it. One of the things that she talks about is the great pussy in the sky. It's, I mean, universe, God, whatever you want to call it, same thing. And it's more of the connection to you and your higher being, higher self, and learning how to connect with that a little bit more. And once I did that, I realized, oh, hey, let's do a podcast on self-growth. Like, it was all there. It's all been there over the years. It's, yeah, it's all been there. It's just putting all those pieces together, putting that puzzle together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm nervous. Can you tell? That's part of being disrobed, authentic, honest, naked. I'm going to be very honest with you guys, and in all my episodes, that is my promise to you. I will be honest, I will be authentic, and I will be nervous for the first several episodes, I'm sure. So bear with me. I was thinking about it before I started, and I was like thinking about, okay, should I do my hair? I'm gonna do my hair, I'm doing my makeup. What am I gonna wear? I knew I was gonna wear this if you're looking at the video, this most ridiculous robe. And I was gonna wear this cute little hat thing. I just wasn't feeling it tonight. And you know what? Part of being your most authentic self is not doing what you don't want to fucking do. But I mean, look how cute that is. It's adorable. And I was like, should I put on a bra? Like, I was just sitting there trying to figure out, what do I want to wear for this episode? How do I want to look? One, most of y'all are probably listening to me and you have no idea how I look. Two, if y'all are watching me, I don't care how I look. So I decided, what is more authentic? What is more real? What is more naked? More disrobed than getting my ass ready for bed, putting on this ridiculous bathrobe that I love, and rolling with it. No makeup, no bra. I'm not going to do my hair. All the above. And no script. I do have notes. I'm not going off the handle completely. I'm not completely unhinged. Where am I? So that is I am, because I don't even know where I'm at anymore. So I mean, and then I was thinking about, oh my God, what am I going to say? What am I going to talk about? I really don't know what I'm doing. I've been putting this off for a couple of weeks now. I'm just like, I thought I'd have it figured out. I was waiting for this beautiful robe to come in. I thought I'd have to figure out by the time it did, and I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to open with the poem. And I knew I wanted the length of the episodes to be about 20, 30 minutes. I didn't really know what else to talk about. And I was like, is anyone going to enjoy my insane ramblings? My ADHD brain going off the rails, slightly unhinged, but with notes, so I can be back on the rails, on the train tracks. And then I was like, honestly, if no one wants to listen to me, who gives a fuck? Who cares? I did this. And I'm doing this for me. And as like my own journey on becoming more honest and authentic and not so people pleasy, and everything my poem's about, becoming my true self. And if in the process any of you feel less alone in your thoughts, in your feelings, your emotions, I guess a lot of those are the same. And if any of you feel less alone, if any of you feel maybe a little bit inspired to go on your own journey to becoming the most authentic version of who you are, and that'll just make the whole thing a little sweeter. And if not, that's okay too. I'm okay with the outcome. Whatever happens, it's just a weird thing that I'm doing, and I'm here for it. And if you guys are here for it, that's cool too. Thank you. If you're here for it, thank you. I appreciate you. A quick note, if you will. One of my friends asked me if I was going to set up a newsletter or something so I could alert people to the poetry that I've posted, new poetry and things like that. And I decided I'm going to just go social media, Instagram, Facebook. If you want me to get a Twitter, I'm going to get a Twitter. I'm really not a fan since it turned X. I don't know why. It's just got a different vibe. I'm not tweeting anymore. I'm Xing, and I don't like that. I mean, I don't know. We're disrobed and naked and explicit. Do we have to be X2? Whatever that means. So you can follow me on Instagram, and Facebook. Both Disrobed Thoughts. Check out my website, disrobedthoughts.com. You can email me, disrobedthoughts@gmail.com if you want to. If you have thoughts, you have questions, concerns. If you're like, Jess, have you experienced this? I want to hear about it. If you have, cool. Here's a topic I want to talk about. Do you have thoughts? Go for it. I wrote in my notes what to expect from this podcast. I don't know. I honestly have no idea what you should expect from this podcast. Probably more of this, just the rambling, the brutal honesty. Occasionally I'm going to probably say something that makes you feel uncomfortable. I'm not, with brutal honesty, complete honesty, naked thoughts, disrobed thoughts, all these kind of very down straight to the root of it all. There's bound to be some discomfort for all of us, myself included. My journey with self-growth, I do consider myself a self-growth junkie at this point in time. Total self-growth junkie. I love all the books, all of them. Even the ones I don't love, I love reading them and then being like, oh, I don't love that, or I really took this from that and not from this. And I've always been I've been careful since I've started this on what I put in my brain, on what I get excited about, what I'm feeding my mind. And that is something that I'm sure you've heard or read on social media. Be careful what you choose to put inside this brain of yours. Feed your brain. I have had to learn to let some of that go, because not everything you read is going to connect with you and your values. But it's still worth reading. It's still worth listening to. What is it? Mark Manson has a book called Unlearn fuck it, unlearn yourself. Is that right? It's something like that. I personally, I read both his books. I enjoyed parts of it, pieces of it, big pieces of it. The fuck it pieces, hilarious. And I did connect with it. I did connect with the aspect of letting go, not letting things bother you quite as much, and accepting things as they are. I did not connect with all of it though. And I'd say there are other books, like the one called Letting Go, that I connected with a little bit more. And so that still made me nervous. I got nervous and I was like, oh my God, what did I just feed my brain? I can choose. I was like, oh shit, I can choose. I can choose what I'm feeding my brain. Where am I going with this? I don't know. I like reading a lot. Oh, Self-Growth Junkie. Yes. So I like reading a lot. If you have a book that you think I should read, you know, send me an email, post a comment, DM me, whatever. I'll check it out. I will create, I have not yet, but I'm possibly by the time this has come out, I will create a page on my profile, on my website, of the books that I have read and that I've really enjoyed. And the ones that I haven't. I'm just gonna include them all in there. Book list. Book club. Book club with a clever name, because I'm sure I'll come up with something. Yeah. I became a self-growth junkie around 2014 when I started my business with Mary Kay. In a lot of the sales-based job positions in general, like I've seen it with car sales, I've seen it with direct sales, other kind of sales, boat sales, timeshare sales, burial plot sales, I'm sure. A lot of times the leaders, your leaders, your teachers, your coaches, whomever suggests that you read some books. How to Win Friends and Influence People is probably the top number one book recommended by all things sales related. Honestly, that should be recommended for all things human related, people related, interacting with people. It's good for that. So if you are someone who has a hard time interacting with people, maybe a little bit more socially awkward. Listen, I'm still a little socially awkward. It's just awkwardness is a part of who I am. That is a good book to read, though. It is phenomenal. It's helped teach you communication skills beyond and beyond. And that's by Dale Carnegie, if you care to know that. So there were a lot of books that I started reading that were recommended to me by my coach, and then we did a book club here and there, and that is when I learned that I really like self-growth books, self-help books, self-growth books, whatever the fuck you want to call them, whatever makes you feel better. I used to hate the phrase self-help. I just thought that it, like, I don't know, it screamed self-help. It screamed pathetic. That's how I felt. It screamed pathetic, and I didn't want to be pathetic. Oh, you guys, you're not pathetic. If you were seeking help in the self-help section, and I know there are people who are going to make fun of you for it. I would have made fun of me for it 11 years ago. But if you were in that section, you are looking to better yourself in any shape and form, why are we making fun of it? Why are we knocking it? You know, like, and I've been that person. There's this post that was floating around for a little while It says something to the effect that don't be that person that tells somebody they can't do something that they love, that makes fun of them for it, that's mean to them. I don't remember the exact words. I posted it on my on Disrobed Thoughts Facebook page right around the time that it came out, and that I saw a lot of those posts floating around. And I mean, I totally agree. Absolutely. Please don't be that person that makes someone feel like they can't do something that they love, that they enjoy. I'm sure I'm going to get a few people who are like, damn, this girl, she's crazy. Why is she doing this podcast? She just rails on and on and on. Who knows what this episode's really even about? No one's a bigger bully than myself. Dang. Trolling myself right now on air. As if this is live. It's recorded, but I'm not gonna edit it. So the few minor edits, maybe get some of the clinking from my bracelets out of the sound for you. But maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. A few minor edits, but I'm not gonna edit this much at all. It is here to stay, which hurts me all the more. We don't have to troll people, and I'm sure there are going to be people trolling me, and I have trolled people in the past. I don't do a lot of online trolling, but in person, I have teased people. I have made fun of people for things that they like to do, for whatever. Because I thought it was cool. I thought it got some laughs, so I thought it was funny. Nothing is more dangerous than this girl getting laughs, because she will take it further every time. She'll find that line and push it a little bit more. Until it's not funny anymore. And sometimes people are crying. Rarely, but sometimes. And I owe apologies. There was a time in my life where that was a constant for me, where making fun of people, teasing them for the things that they love to do, for the way they dressed, the way they acted, the way they were, was something that I did often. And I think a lot of my millennial friends, people I just know and don't know, I think a lot of my favorite millennials and least favorite millennials can agree that is the culture, that was a culture of millennials at some point in time. We made fun of each other. You see it all the time on dating profiles. If you can't take a joke, don't swipe right. If you can't take me making fun of you for a little bit, don't swipe right. There's a difference between being able to tease each other a little bit and really putting each other down. That was something that I aligned with at some point in time, but I no longer do. Does that every once in a while come out in me? Absolutely. Do I apologize for it later? I'd say 99% of the time. There might be 1% that I miss, and I am very, very sorry if you were offended and I have missed that apology with you. Chances are I didn't notice and was not self-aware enough in that moment to notice, and I'm sorry. I am. That's not the person who I want to be. So, anyway, I don't, what are we talking about? Who knows? I've got self-growth. When did my self-growth journey begin? 2014. I read books. Self-growth junkie. Well, we'll just fast forward. In 2021, I struggled with chronic hip pain for I want to say it was right around the same time I started my my Mary Kay is when the hip pain started. And that same year, so 2014. And in 2021, I came across this app called Curable, that's supposed to help with the pain. And so I signed up for it, thinking, what the hell, whatever. Worst things worse, it's just an app on my phone. I can delete it. I really enjoyed, they talk a lot about the science behind pain, the connection between your mind and your mind-body connection, how your neural pathways are strengthened through your danger system, your stress reactions, and your release of cortisol and all that fun sciencey stuff that I like nerd out on hardcore. So shortly after I signed up for this app, they came out and said they're going to do a workshop. Curable Groups is what it's called. And the workshop was a little expensive, but I decided, you know what? Nothing else has helped. I did chiropractic work frequently, massage frequently. I rolled myself out every single night. I did my stretches. I did my exercises. Going to a doctor, getting x-rays, and basically they're like, yeah, well, you could take a shot if you want, I guess. But like, it'll cost you, and it probably won't really work. I was like, oh, it'll work for a little while, but like, it'll wear off. And I was like, cool. I'm going to fix the problem. And then, you know, surgeries always seems to be on the table. And for me, it was not, but you know, it was listed as an option. And so I didn't find going to the doctor very helpful, except for expensive. And so I thought, what do I have to lose? Literally nothing. Let's give it a go. So I did not realize how much pain and trauma and bottled up emotions, bottled up trauma, bottled up everything are all connected. And so basically that whole workshop was just self-growth on steroids. I learned about emotions. I learned not to suppress them because that's been my favorite thing to do for nearly 34 years of my life. I learned not to disassociate. I learned to live in the moment. I learned better meditation techniques to connect my mind and my body. And I learned how to express my traumas, my emotions through journaling, and really work through them, and heal through that. And I mean, sometimes it's still really hard for me. I catch myself disassociating sometimes, and not feeling those things in the moment because I feel like I can't. I feel like I can't feel those things. I can't feel angry when I'm bartend. So when I'm bartending, when I'm with a guest, I can't be angry in that moment because I have to be pleasant and cheerful and nice. It's funny because the job I have is very much relies on me being I don't want to say fake version of myself, but the happiest version of myself with that while suppressing all the other versions of myself. And that's kind of how I've always been. I've always been someone who takes the happier versions, shows that on the surface, is never sad, is never down, is never angry, never whatever. And I really showed that over anything else. And that's not healthy. Not healthy at all. And so that whole experience with Curable was such like an eye-opener, expansion of self-growth. And I am so very, very grateful for that. And I've been relatively pain-free since. You know, this past year, I planned a big party for a friend of mine who I love dearly. It was very stressful though. I was under a lot of pressure. I was, financially, it was just expensive. Would happily do it again. It's stress related. We're talking hard stuff here. It was a little stressful financially. And then I had people, trying to step in and not respecting my boundaries. I'm not used to putting boundaries down. You guys, like, I'm used to people pleasing. I'm used to saying yes when I want to say no. Boundaries are very new to me within the last few years, and they still take practice. Isn't that fun? Isn't it fun when you like perfectionism, people pleasing, things that have like been ingrained so deep in you since childhood because they are childhood trauma responses, so deeply ingrained in you that all of a sudden when they're not, like when you start to like practice doing them, they take a really long time to practice. And even when you feel like you got it down, like the creeping, like, hello, we're still here. People pleasing is still here. That perfectionism still lives inside of you. I usually find that happens more when I'm not in alignment with myself, when I'm not taking time for self-care, sleeping enough, meditating. I like doing face masks. They're fun and they're nice and they're relaxing. I like taking baths. The Epsom salt baths. Oh, they're so nice. I use like a half a bag of Epsom salts. That's a lot. But anyway, so, the self-care aspect of things, you want to make sure that like you're doing those because they help you keep yourself in line with your values. And when you find yourself saying things and doing things that you don't want to be doing or normally are doing, and you're doing them without thinking, that probably means you need to take a step back and do some self-care. Do some journaling, meditate, whatever. At least that's my experience. This is what I didn't want to do. I was going to be like telling you what to do. I don't want to tell you what I've been doing. Old habits die hard. Does that make sense here? Not really. I mean, a little bit. I guess I'm trying to give advice where I'm not actually trying to give advice. That happens. I'm nervous. Whatever. Anyway, that's what I like to do. Those are the things I like to do. In those moments where I find myself people pleasing, perfectionism, saying things that aren't in alignment with myself, those moments where those mean moments I was talking about that creep out, because I think I'm funny and so do some other people. So I just keep going. Those that don't align with my values and who I want to be, when those moments keep coming, those are the things that I do. I meditate, I journal, I take a bath, I sleep early, I eat a snack, sometimes a pint of ice cream, whatever. Whatever I feel like my body, my soul need in the moment. I write a poem. And so that's kind of where I'm at now with my self-growth journey. I'm reading a lot. I'm learning a lot. I'm doing this. It's scary. So, and I wanted to do this today specifically for for the biggest reason of it's a full moon. It is May 23rd, the flower moon. And those of you rolling your eyes, I totally get it. I'm into the woo-woo, into the astrology, into the magic of the universe, into the science behind it all. I'm into different parts of religions, and I'm into absolutely loving that all religion, when boiled down to its core, is about love, but has been greatly taken every which way in some areas of it. And yeah, does that make sense? Probably not. And so you'll hear me mention things about the woo-woo, the astrology, the whatever. And that's what I'm into. So the full moon is today, and that's why I wanted to record this today. It is the flower moon, and it is all about blooming. It's about gaining clarity on who you are, shedding your old self, creating and starting new projects. And I just really felt like that fits the theme of this podcast. Blooming into who you are, shedding your own self, shedding that which does not serve you anymore. That is the pieces of you that you no longer align with. Self-growth, like all of that has to do with this beautiful full moon. I connect so greatly with the full moon, so greatly, deeply with the full moon. And it's something, I just dig the moon. I can't explain it. I just dig it. And so that is why I wanted to do that today. Some cool, weird side notes. The robe I'm wearing is fuchsia. For those of you who can't see it, fuchsia and ridiculously long and big and beautiful, and it's got these floppy arms. And fuchsia is I picked fuchsia on a whim. It was just something I envisioned with my logo. And then I wanted my robe that I ordered to match, and here we are. And then I Googled after. I'm like, what does fuchsia mean? Spiritually, what does fuchsia mean? Because I like to Google weird shit like that. Yeah. That's a embarrassing thing about me that I would tell you, I guess. And it has to do with growth. And I was just like, man, am I really attracted to the colors and the things that have to do with growth and new beginnings and creativity and being your most true self? And so I decided to do this episode on the full moon before I looked up what the full moon meant. Then I was like, oh, I have to do it today. And trust me, I procrastinated. I get lip balm right before. Needed to get all natural antacid. It just did not stop. The things that I needed, and step stool, like the little stool thing that I needed to sit with, because sitting cross-legged on this chair was very uncomfortable because I kept sitting on the robot where the amount of time it took me to get settled was much like watching a dog trying to get comfortable in a spot that they are not comfortable in. It's very similar. So anyway, I'm just going to wrap this up. This is the first episode. Apparently I rambled a little bit longer than I wanted to, or originally thought I was going to. Wow, what am I going to talk about for 20 minutes? I guess I figured it out. And if you guys are sticking around, my goal is to put out an episode every week. I don't know when this episode's going to come out. I'm still looking for music and things like that. So a week from this episode should be another one. And yeah, I just want to thank you all, those of you who are listening and stuck around to the end of the episode. I really appreciate you and your dedication to hearing out my crazy ramblings. And yeah, thank you. Love you all. Bye.